Hello and welcome to 2024. I hope all of you had a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve Thoele. I'm a principal broker with Premier Property Group and here to give you another update on the Wilsonville real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity ending this past Sunday, December 31st. So let me switch over here and I'm going to share my screen now and go through the info here with you. First off, we'll look at active listing activity. So you can kind of see it's been pretty dead for the most part over the past, 8 weeks, at least 7 weeks in Wilsonville. So we had one new property come on the market last week, same as the week prior. Pretty typical. You get into, late November and December, listing activity is going to be pretty slow. And then the total number of listings is the red bars. We kind of had a high of 77 to begin with, and you kind of see that kind of decline down to a low of 64 homes on the market as of the end of this last week. The median list price and days on market for those active listings, you can kind of see what's happened there. So we started at 783, then it held for a month basically at 790, and then it dropped down from there, finishing at a low of 766 as of this last week for these most recent 64 homes on the market. And then the time on the market, days on the market, that's been on the rise, had a low of 38 days here to begin with. And you can kind of see that's risen clear up to a high of 69 days of market time as of this last week. And moving along to pendings. So pending sales this last week in Wilsonville, we had 3 properties go pending, up from where we only had one the week prior. And the total number of pendings is the red bars. You can kind of see where that's gone. So we started at 27 and it kind of held pretty steady for the next 5 weeks or so. And then it did dip down here a bit over this past 3 weeks and hitting a low of 20 pendings as of this last week. And the median price and days on market for these pending listings, you can kind of see we kind of peaked out here a little bit under 700,000 about 7 weeks back, and you can kind of see we got clear down to 630,000 here 2 weeks ago, and then did pop back up to 675 this last week for these most recent 20 homes that are in pending status. And then days on the market, we had started off at 29, got up to 60, 62 days as a high here, and then we got back down to the original level at 29 days. So kind of a nice little distribution here. So just about, a little less than 30 days of market time is kind of where we're at in terms of, homes that are getting into contract right now in Wilsonville. And then we'll now look at sold listing activity. So as the time I put this info together, I showed we had 4 properties cross over from pending to sold this last week in Wilsonville, up one from the prior week where we only had 3. And when I look back over the prior 4 weeks of closings on a week-by-week basis here, we had a high of 42 closings over the prior 4 weeks during this period. And you can kind of see it's really kind of come down quite a bit from there, hitting a low of 14 here 3 weeks back, and just got up to 16 closings over the prior 4 weeks as of this last week. So definitely kind of a slower closing environment for sure. The median sold price and the days on market for those sold listings, that's been on the rise. You kind of see we started out at 610,000 was where we were at 8 weeks ago, and it went up quite dramatically here. As you can kind of see, we hit a peak of 760,000 3 weeks back, and then the last 2 weeks it did drop back a bit. Most recent reading is 715,000 again for these most recent 16 homes that have sold in Wilsonville. And the days on market, you can kind of see we're kind of sitting in around the 3 week, period here, 21 days or so. And then we did take this pretty big leap upward here over the last 3 weeks to, more like, a little over 2 months of market time here as of late. So, some of these homes that have sold here most recently, they were on the market, considerably longer than the ones prior to that. So And then to last piece of data here we'll look at is the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So the red bars here is the weeks of inventory, kind of a great measurement of relative supply and demand in the market. And you kind of see we kind of started off here with, pretty low level of inventory, just about, more close to about 7 weeks of inventory to begin with. And then, as the sales kind of dropped off and inventory kind of slid down as well, but not to the same degree, we got clear up to about 19 weeks of inventory 3 weeks back, and then it's retreated here a bit. Most recent reading is right at 16 weeks, which, convert that into months, it's just about 4 months worth of of inventory right now in the Wilsonville market. And then the sale price as a percent of the list price, kind of a measurement of kind of the pricing power right now. We started off at, kind of a low of about 94.5%. Got up to as high of, a little over right around 97.5%. Most recent reading is a little bit under 96%. So just about a 4% discount is what sellers have been getting off of their original list price right now in Wilsonville. So, definitely kind of a slower market right now, which is, very typical. You kind of get into the late, kind of the late end of year winter season. So no big surprises there. And, all in all, not too bad. And then this is something that if you've been watching these videos for a while, it's kind of something new that I wanted to start bringing to you. It's kind of a look of what's happening with mortgage rates. So I kind of keep tabs using a site called Mortgage News Daily. This is kind of a screenshot from there. So what we're looking at is a 1-year chart of the 30-year fixed rate mortgage, conventional mortgage, which is kind of the bread and butter mortgage product that a lot of people use when buying a home. And you can kind of see we started last year at right at 6.5%. And we got down to a low of about 6% right at the beginning of February, and then we kind of just had this long, slow, painful upward climb in interest rates over the remainder of the year up to about mid-October, where we hit 8% for the 30-year fix. And then from there, we kind of reversed course, and you kind of see we've had quite a dramatic down shift in rates since that peak, down to right now. It's been kind of moving sideways for the past couple of weeks at right around 6.6, 6.7%. Is kind of where we sit today on the 30-year fix. So very welcome development for the market, and hopefully will continue. The Fed basically kind of came out last month in their most recent meeting, the Federal Reserve, and basically kind of said that their rate tightening cycle is kind of coming to a close, and which is great news. And that going forward, assuming that inflation kind of continues to moderate, which they seem to think is going to happen, we should hopefully kind of continue to see a downward direction or trajectory on rates as we move throughout 2024. This is definitely helpful, obviously, for buyers, and will also, I think, if it kind of continues to go in a downward direction, we'll eventually get to the point where some sellers who've been thinking about selling but didn't want to give up their 3% mortgage rate will maybe look at starting to think about putting their home on the market, which will definitely free up some inventory, which has been kind of desperately needed here as we kind of been in this channel right now on the housing market. So that's kind of where we sit today, and we'll keep tabs on it all for you. So hope that update was helpful for you as always. If I can answer questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to chat with you. My phone and email address are always down below these videos in the description. So don't hesitate to reach out, give me a call, send me an email or text. I'd be happy to chat with you. So always appreciate any comments or feedback you have on these videos. So, like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's a great way for you to stay up to date on what's happening in your market. So hope you have a fantastic day and week ahead, and we'll see you on the next video.